Well, I've always said I'm one that can admit when I make mistakes, and I've made a mistake. This time, fortunately, it's really nothing major. It's more about keeping up with. Sorry if I'm grass covered. I just got done mowing and weed eating. Just keeping up with the videos. Today's Wednesday, and I've been starting to do them Monday through Sunday, and I failed. I haven't done much of anything the last 2 days. I definitely haven't done a video. And then also, last week's videos are not up yet, at least as of me making today, doing this one right now. Because last week's aren't put up yet because I'm flustered with myself. Making those videos, the camera flip-flopped. So like half of the segment that I recorded is right, and then the other half is upside down. So I have a friend that I sent them to, and he fixed them for me. So he basically cut it and split it, and beyond my knowledge and ability. Well, knowledge. So anyways, he fixed it for me, but the problem I have is now I have to figure out, like one of them did it 3 times, so he split it 3 different times. So I have to be able to piece together those 3 pieces and get them in the correct order so that once I post it and you're viewing it, it's not jumping back and forth. I haven't had time. I've sat down a few times and tried to do it and got flustered, and again, it's not my thing. I thank him for taking the time and doing that for me, and it will get posted, but it might not get posted until after this one's posted. So what have we been doing? Monday night, I didn't really do much out here. I don't recall. I'm trying to think what I did. Not really a whole lot, I think. I can't remember. I can't remember what I did Monday. Last night, yesterday we had an inquiry on the engine out of the 85 Daytona that we've had posted for sale. The gentleman wanted compression readings. Fair enough. I don't blame him. You know, I would too. And like a dummy, I didn't do that before the engine was pulled. So now it's currently sitting here on the floor, and we're trying to figure out, well, I was trying to figure out how to turn it over fast enough to get a good compression reading. I could turn it over by hand. It turns over real easy. I pulled all the plugs to ease it, in turning. But I can only get like 30 pounds. So my buddy came over and he was able to get it to 50 pounds, but that's still not an accurate reading. This should be between 100 and 120 and 110 range. So we stood here and BS'd and scratched our heads and tried to figure out a plan, and he came up with a plan, and I had something kind of like this. I was trying to figure out how to mount the starter to the engine so that we can use, a jump box or another battery or whatever to crank it. And he came up with a plan, and his plan worked phenomenally, and huge shout out to him. Thank you, because your idea was awesome, and it is going to work very well. He asked me, he said, do you have a junk transmission laying around? I just so happened to have a junk 525. So this is what we did. We cut this much of the transmission. Thankfully, these are aluminum, so it didn't take too much effort with a Sawzall, and we just kept the upper section. And the reason we kept the whole upper section was because there's a bolt hole here and a bolt hole here that mounts this to the engine. Now there's more, but those are the 2 we was after. And then the starter sits right here. So not only did we get the 2 bolts to mount it to the engine, we also got the bolt holes to mount a starter to this section we cut out, and I'm going to show you that. So now all we have to do is jump the starter with the battery box, and we got it to crank. So we had it cranking last night. Number 3 and number 4 are both good. Our battery box ran out of battery life, so we had to quit for the night. The battery box has been charging all night. It shows it's a full charge now. He's supposed to come back here later this evening, and we're going to attempt it again. We're also questioning the Harbor Freight compression tester I have, because number 2 we got a reading, and then when we moved on and we came back to number 2, and it was a different reading. So there's an inaccuracy there. So he's supposed to bring his expensive compression tester over as well. So hopefully we can do all 4 and get a good reading. So this is what we did to make this work. And it was a clever idea. So this is the section that we cut out. We didn't need all of this excess, but we wanted to make sure that we had enough to get this bolt and mount this to the engine. And then you can see there's a starter bolt here and the nut. Now there is a third on these. 2's enough for what we're doing. I wouldn't recommend doing 2 if it was staying on the car, but this is temporary. This is just enough to get this engine to crank. So we're going to keep this section. This is going to be a tool that we can utilize. I'll try to clean it up a little bit, get some of the grease off of it later, but this is a tool that we're going to be able to utilize. And that transmission was already going in a junk car, so there's no loss there. So again, great idea on his part. He is a mechanic. He normally works on big trucks, but he knows these cars, very well as well. So I'm thankful to have him as a friend for sure. So today, like I said, is Wednesday. We're going to work on that. Once he gets here, I don't know. He normally gets here later on, way after he gets home from work, way after I do. So I normally have time between me getting home and him getting here, to get some other stuff done. So I really, really, really want to get this Subaru out of this garage so that I can get it a little more organized for Carlisle. Carlisle's about a month away, and I am not ready. Last year, my first year going to Carlisle, I was way more ready than I am now. But at the same time, I also didn't have 4 cars to work on. And I still have 2 more to go get. I'm planning to figure out that trip here in the very near future so that it's done. I'd love to get it all done before Carlisle. I don't know. We'll see. Just because I'd love to be able to have an opportunity to be able to take parts from these 2 cars that I have to get yet with us. I don't know. We'll see if it's going to happen. But anyway, I would love to get that done. It's a hot mess over there, and it's been a hot mess for a minute. And I'm getting to the point that I'm flustered. I'm tired of stepping over things and moving things 3 times to get something done. And I'm about to start chucking things. There's a lot of stuff in here, in this garage and in the building both, that I'm about to just load up the truck and haul it away. I don't like doing that. That's the last thing I want to do. But like we was talking last night, I've got a fender for a V6 Shadow that's been here for 4 years. I've tried to sell it last year for Carlisle, this year for Carlisle. Tried to sell it, on groups, people looking for one. I post it. Nothing. Still here. So does one hood take up a lot of room? No, it doesn't. But when you have 20, it takes up a lot of room. So there's probably going to be some stuff leaving here in the near future. I'm going to try to hold off till Carlisle until I get back, because up between today and the day we leave for Carlisle, it could potentially sell and be taken out there. So if you need a V6 bulge Shadow hood and you're going to Carlisle, let me know. I will give you a deal on it because I'd like it gone. That's not the only hood we have. We have 3 or 4 LeBaron hoods. I don't know how many Daytona Turbo Z hoods. We have some Shelby Daytona hoods that sold on eBay, but the guy hasn't come and got them yet. That's a whole nother situation, and I'm not sure how to handle that. He's paid for them, but he's never come and got them. He's coming out of North Dakota, and he's got, that's a long ways away, but he's always have an excuse. Anyway, I won't get into all the details. So those are not for sale right now, but they may be between now and then. I want to get the Subaru out so I can get ready for Carlisle. I'll have a little more working area to do that, but I also want to get the wife's Shadow out. The Shadow has not been on the road. I got to sneeze. That Shadow hasn't been really on the road much since we've gotten it. We've had it about 5 years, and I'd be willing to bet, even with my son driving it, the car has not had 500 miles put on it in those 5 years. Now, granted, the first year it was here, the engine was apart, and there was work being done, but it still needs to be brought out and let my wife drive it. She is very patient with me when it comes to these doing this business and doing these car parts. And she's mentioned a few times that she'd really like to be able to drive her car. So it's time to get it out. It's time to get it in the garage and try to figure out why it doesn't idle. It idles, but it idles very rough. Once you drive it and you get it off of idle and you're going down the road, it runs perfectly fine. It's just at an idle. So we're suspecting probably a stupid vacuum leak that I can't find. Not only do I want to get the shadow out, but I want to get my LeBaron out. I haven't had my LeBaron out. This will be the second year. I didn't drive it at all last year. I never took it out of the building. I want to get it out too. So I've got stuff I want to be able to, get out and use and enjoy, but all this other stuff just takes up all my time. So I don't know. That's what I want to do. I want to get that Subaru out of here. We still need to get one part for it to get it fixed. I haven't had time to deal with getting that part. And it's just one thing after another. But, alright. I'm going to get busy doing something. Maybe trying to dig this Subaru out so I can get it out of the way tonight. It's buried. You can't even barely see it. I tell you, this garage is a hot mess. There's just stuff everywhere. That engine was on that wood stand. We got it hanging on the cherry picker now so we can have clearance for the flywheel and whatnot. But you can see there's just... the Subaru has become a storage shelf. And then there's a bunch of stuff back and behind it as well. I don't know. I'm a disaster, and sometimes I look at myself and say, you're an idiot. But I guess I'll just continue being an idiot. So I will do my best to film again tomorrow, and I'll do my best to keep this video straight and be able to post it sooner. I'm going to work on the other one as well and try to get them both put up. So let's get busy and get something done tonight. Today's Saturday. Again, I'm not doing very good on this week's walking week in my shoes. But I've been busy. And sometimes when you're busy, things happen. So today, we're not really doing much car related wise. We got to go to a birthday party here in a little while. So I'm going to update you on what we've done the last few nights. And I'm going to show you what we did. I may have already shown this. I think I did. Alright, today's Saturday and I've been very laxy in getting these videos recorded. Sorry, I'm about to drop my phone. Haven't really done a lot. It's part of the reason why. Just been busy with life. Today, my buddy and I, that you've seen in the videos and that's here a lot helping get things done, we did a little thing, and there's a good chance, I don't want to jinx myself, jinx ourselves, but there might be a shift in what this business is. I'm always going to do the parts and do these cars, but might be a slight shift in how we operate. So with any business, you have to grow and you may have to change to fit demands. So and I'll get into this more if the stars all line up, as you want to say, because I try not to get too excited about things until it's actually in place, and once that happens and it's in place, then we'll show some excitement. So in the meantime, we went somewhere today, him and I, and we looked at something, and we're going to look into trying to purchase something. This would be a benefit to us both. This would bring him into what we're doing. The difference will be he is more on wrenching on the cars, where I'm more doing the parts. So there's a possibility that some more of these cars could maybe get saved, or there's a possibility that we could possibly start working on other people's cars. And also, So if you knew the video, watched the video on the Subaru, that car is still here. Cars like that don't really fit the business as of today's style. Trying to get things like that to fix and flip, and he would be the one to doing the fixing. Another great one is the Horizon, the 88 Horizon we got. The car's too nice to part, but I can fix it. I can do the work. I don't have the time with doing all the parts and doing shipping and doing all of that and trying to get these cars parted, and then of course having to go get 2 more cars here soon. I don't have the time to spend on that car unless I don't do the parts. I can't do both. So that's where he will come into play. He will be the one that will take that car and fix it, whatever it needs, and then we can go on from there, and then we could in turn list it for sale and hopefully make a profit. So as a business, you need to make profit, otherwise you'll never stay in business. So that's a possible future. Today was the most serious him and I have discussed it, and so far I think it's a go. There's steps involved. I've never done any of this business, getting a loan and all of that, and it may be all for whatnot. I don't know for sure. I've never spoke to a bank, a mortgage or a finance company in regards to this. I've obviously bought a house and we've bought cars and all that, but this is a totally different, new to me and him venture. So I won't really get into details on what we looked at today. Those will come later, but I will add a few pictures of what was inside what we looked at today, and if we can get this all pulled off, and what I'm about to show you, maybe, well, we were going to try to get it included in this package, make it a package deal. So if any of you all are knowledgeable on business loans and whatnot, let me know, and I will pick your mind. I am open to suggestions. I am open to ideas. I'm open to what they want to see, because I'm clueless. I mean, I can show them numbers, and I can pull up our sales and our taxes and all of that, but I don't know how to write a plan. So my wife sat down with me a little earlier, and we jotted some things down. There's a whole lot more to it than just jotting some things down. So anyways, we did pick up a rear axle. Guy that I know locally posted it for free. Price was right. I'll go get it for free. I wanted it because it has rear hubs. It was a big brake car, big brake axle. So I'm going to keep the backing plates, or the caliper brackets, whatever you call them. I'm going to keep those, and I'm going to keep the hubs and just basically everything but the axle. I didn't want the axle, but it all came together. And the plan with that is to sandblast them, have them powder coated, and they're going to go on the GTC when that time comes. So it's kind of a boring week, really. I didn't record as much as I should have, and I apologize for that. We did get the 85 about to fall, because this is why we went and looked at what we looked at today, because I'm over this. My wife, thank God, I love that woman. I showed her this the other day, and she was like, just go do it. So we got back today, and we sat and talked about it, and she's like, you do what you need to do to make this work. So I have a 100% backing from her, and that's means more than me than I can say. So anyways, we did get the 85, the compression check done on the 85 engine. The gentleman's supposed to be here in a week to get that. That'd be nice to get that out of the way. However, the 85 turbo, the one that's wrecked in the front end, we haven't gotten that far, but we believe that this is a good engine as well. So even though one will be hopefully leaving in a week, there will be another one to take its place. So it is what it is. I don't complain, because that's something that we can sell and help put money back into the business. So really don't know what else. I'm not going to bore you with a bunch of details about what's going on. I'm not going to rattle on. Try not to rattle on any more than I already have. So, did find this box of goodies in the basement. These are bearings and seals. Bunch of miscellaneous bolts. We could have used that the other day. And then just some miscellaneous, looks like wheel studs, more wheel studs, some wheel nuts, some kind of, just a rotor, oil pressure switch, thermostat, more lug nuts, or wheel studs, lug nuts, exhaust springs, some fuel line, and then just a bunch of miscellaneous pieces and parts. But this was the one I was wishing we had the other night. Well, we had it. I just wish I would have remembered it was down there, because these bolts could have been used on our little bracket that we made up. But it is what it is. We got it done, and we now have the bracket, so we'll be able to utilize it again later. So, get ready to go to this birthday party. It's a little bit of a drive, an hour to where it's at, and then spend some time there and probably come back home and call it a night. I've been working on getting stuff for Carlisle. I don't know, my son had said to me a while back that we should only take stuff that is related to the business. My belief is you take anything that you can sell. Carlisle is a huge event, and there's a lot of people there. We've got mirrors, I got an RC car, and we've got Model A stuff, radios. I don't know what all this pile needs to be gone through yet, but we're going to take probably these horns. But I believe that since Carlisle is so big and there's such a variety of people that are going to be there, why not? It's not going to take up that much more room in the trailer. It will take up some room on the table, but we're going to go buy more tables. We have 4 now. I'm going to go buy probably another 4 more. And then we got some card tables and whatnot that we can utilize. So we're going to expand. Obviously, we got 4 spots instead of the 2. So that's a big change. But why not take whatever else you can, anything you can take. Now, we're not going to take like clothes or nothing, stuff like that. But anything car related, if somebody's building a hot rod, rat rod, or whatever, then they might need those parts. They might be like, oh, that's, what I need, and cool, let's get it sold and they can take it home with them. So that's why I'm going to do that, and they're going to go with us. So I'm going to get ready to go to this party, and I will try to hopefully maybe tomorrow do some more videoing. This one's kind of boring. All right, today's Sunday. Didn't really have much planned today. Of course, last night when we got back from the birthday party, or actually before we left, I think. Yeah. Anyways. My wife and I were talking, and there's projects that need done around the house. I was like, you know what? I'll get up Sunday morning and get them done. Well, I got up later than I usually would, and I was like, I don't feel like doing any of that. So I was just being lazy and laying on the couch, drinking my coffee, trying to get motivated. And a buddy of mine texted me, and hey, I'm going to the local U-Pull. You want to go? So here we are. Waiting on him to get here. Just gathered up all the tools, etc. Waiting on him to get here so we can run up there and see what we can find. Hoping that I can find this part that I need for the Subaru. It's just one little elbow that comes off the radiator. So I'm hoping I can find that. We can get that back together, get it cleaned up, and get it out of here. That's one part that I'm hoping today. They did have a 91 LeBaron convertible turbo car. I've already taken some parts off the car. I had considered, removing the K-frame, and honestly, I wish I could have bought the whole car, because it was a 2.5 turbo, so it's a common block engine. It would have been nice to have that here instead of it going there, and it was literally 5 miles from my house. I knew of the car, but I never had the time to stop, and I would have paid them more than this yard paid them, but it is what it is. Can't complain. Got to keep going. So, tools are packed. We're under that. I'll consider some of the other parts off this LeBaron. If it's still there, it might not even be there anymore. I don't know. Haven't looked on their website in a week or so. But we get back from that, I'll probably come out here and continue working on pricing parts and start getting this mess over here with all these old 50s, 40s, 50s radios I got to get them to the basement so I can sit down and get them listed and put them on the eBay store. And then I'll be able to start cleaning up, hopefully, this mess over here, and see what we can come up with. So don't plan on working hard today. Just plan on just going and enjoying some time, and see what we can find. So let's go.